All right, how's everybody doing? Um, Hope everybody had a good couple months off anyway. Our last meeting was held on June 15th, 2022. It was our DOT roundtable. And at that meeting, the DOT, Jeff Corey answered a lot of our questions. We did learn that Mark Berger is their new director. They have 11 supervisors and 115 inspectors total statewide. And they're short too. So, right now, we were ahead and there have been some vacations taken and stuff. And it's just staying on top of it. But they are just as short as we are in school districts. And I'm sure a lot of you people from the outside, from the other companies, are also shorthanded. But today's presenter is going to be Dwayne Dradt with Composite. They are BG Sales and Products. He'll be presenting on gas and diesel fuel additives and how we can get better fuel mileage. And we were talking a while ago about fuel mileage, and these days it's really critical with the electric bus coming, and it's here actually. And I was looking in the June and July issue of School Bus Fleet magazine, and just some of the simple things that they talked about to save fuel mileage was just simple things that we can all be doing, like idling. Said to avoid idling. The idling more than 10 seconds burns more fuel and emits more CO2 than starting the engine. So that's a benefit that we can all do if we can keep our batteries good, because when the bus is sitting there with the stop signs out, it's obviously using a little bit more energy. I admit. Christine, how you doing? Christine, this meeting is being recorded and will be posted to our YouTube channel. Okay, tire pressures is another deal. If the tire is underinflated, it's going to take more energy to move the bus forward. So keeping your tires at a good optimal pressure will help with your fuel mileage. Using cruise control on the highways. Cruise control is proven to save fuel. So it's probably the most efficient method of using continual fuel on the thruway or on the Northway. Alignments is another big issue. If the front end is out of alignment and you're actually pushing a wheel instead of going nice and straight, you're actually pushing it sideways. Not only are you going to wear your tires out, but you're going to use considerable more fuel. And of course, aggressive driving habits was another thing that they discussed. Your jackrabbit starts and stops, hard cornering, all this stuff will use more fuel. So those are just a few things that I just decided to just hint on as we go into this meeting to try to save fuel for everyone. So at this time, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Dwayne. So take her away, Dwayne.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I want to thank Dan and the association for having us today. With me here in the office at Deposit Control Systems is Tom Myers, the president of our organization. Myself and our general manager, James Belfay, is also with us. We are the upstate New York distributor for BG products. And we are the upstate distributor for BG products, and we want to thank you this morning for having us here. If you have any questions, please let us know. Speak up at any time. So today we're going to discuss BG fuel system maintenance and maintaining your engines. We have some third-party results that we're going to get into. We would like to show you what we can do chemically to help you restore engine integrity and help keep the engine clean. So we have services for all styles of powertrain. Doesn't matter if it's agricultural, bus, over the road, cars, motorcycles, boats, whatever you might have. A typical fleet objective is to improve your fuel economy. We can't improve a fuel economy over what the engine was designed by engineering. We can restore engine integrity by keeping the engine clean, fuel system clean, combustion chambers, and keeping the piston rings clean. With that, of course, we have less repair costs over maintenance, and we reduce the carbon footprint through exhaust elimination. So we don't have anything to install. This is nothing magical. It's not snake oil. We do not claim to increase fuel economy higher than the engineers designed. We can only restore it to its original levels. We don't have anything to do with the drivers, don't have to do anything to help us with this. This isn't bulk fuel treatment. Now, we do have bulk fuel treatment, and I can discuss that with any one of you at any time. We would be happy to do that. You can also have this done at a third-party maintenance facility, maybe Matthews, something like that. It takes about 10 minutes to get this process in place. As you can see here, all the ring lands have changed. Everything has changed, and we have to keep these clean to keep everything working properly. The scraper rings don't have near the tension that they used to have, and they do work better than they have in the past, but they still allow product to move from one side of the engine to the other, and it's very important to keep this separated. They do pulverize the carbon, but the carbon also has a tendency to stick to the rings. In a couple of oil changes, by doing this, we can clean the engine, the combustion chamber, injectors, and of course, if we keep all these parts clean, then the DPF and after treatment issues don't come around as often. If we don't do this, we lose power, we lose engine efficiency, and then of course we can also get oil oxidation because the rings are not separating the gases from the oil. We have to keep this all in line so that everything works properly. These are some of the products, and this is what we would use commonly to do a service annually. The EPR and the fuel system restoration, performance restoration products. These two together can help keep the engine running clean. Fuel system performance restoration, it would be used annually in the fuel tank. It'd be put right in the saddle tank. It can treat up to 100 gallons. So with that, if you put that in, most buses hold 30, 40 gallons. Yes, you're going to have a concentrated fuel system cleaner, but you can't over-treat with this product. It'll clean the whole system, including the high-pressure common rail, the injector's combustion chamber. This will also help with keeping the top rings clean. Engine performance restoration, commonly known as EPR, can be used in either gas or diesel engines. 1 quart treats up to 16 quarts of engine oil in the crankcase. On your larger engines, your Cummins and your Detroits, we also have a 3-quart container that you could use for your anywhere from 30 to 40 quart capacities. This restores compression, it cleans the ring lands, it reduces blow-by, which of course also helps with less oil consumption, and it removes any of the varnishes that may be inside of the piston cylinders. You would do this service with every oil change. We have a hang tag available. We can put this in the vehicle. If you were going to have it sitting outside and running, say it was in a regen process, then the driver would know not to take this bus. I'm assuming most of you have some kind of a lockout capability when you're doing regens. This would be an excellent time to do a regen and then put this product in and then turn around and service the vehicle afterwards. We also have BG's DOC. DOC is diesel oil conditioner. It has many properties. We're going to touch on that a little more in a minute. BG's 245 is fuel system cleaner. It also will clean the fuel system from the tank right to the injectors and the tops of the pistons. As you can see here, this is clean fuel. This is what fuel looks like from a typical storage tank. And again, if any one of you would like us to take a sample and see what your tanks look like, we would be happy to do that. And we could then put a plan together to help clean your tanks and keep the tank clean going forward. This is what the fuel should look like when we're done with our services. All these products here are all available through BG. They all have many different functions. Some of them are seasonal. Some of them can help with de-icing and gel, which is a real common problem for a lot of us. I know you're all using products to help with that, including kerosene, which obviously we have to do to keep the fuel flowing properly. So BG diesel oil conditioner is excellent for high output engines, the extreme temperatures in the top of the engine especially. It maintains the engine's power and performance. It neutralizes the acid corrosions. It'll help with friction. It stabilizes the viscosity of the oil. The oil will start to become thicker as it takes on soot and oxidizes. Obviously, that's where the sludge comes from. And we also have a patented product called soot scatter, which keeps the soot from linking up like Legos inside the oil. This is very important to keep from scoring, and again, to keep the soot from locking up your ring lands, carboning up your ring lands. BG 245 diesel fuel system cleaner is probably one of the best products on the market today. It removes and dissolves the products in the combustion chamber, the injector. It cleans from the fuel tank right out to the exhaust system. It helps move any of the heavy deposits throughout the system, especially in your high pressure common rails. It has lubricity and cetane improver, which also helps with cold starts. And of course, cetane helps with fuel economy also. It cleans the entire system, especially effective with high pressure common rails. This is some comments here. There's a gentleman named Darrell Bear. Darrell Bear is the owner and COO of Mesilla Valley Transport. Mesilla Valley Transport is one of the largest trucking companies in the nation today. 1,650 tractors and 6,000 trailers. I hope all of you got to see the video that Dan sent out last Sunday night. There is a link in the email. It was a video that testimony from Darrell. And I think it's very important if you take the time, if you haven't, please take the time to look at that video. This gentleman has some great ideas. He's super intelligent and just wants his fleet to run down the road as efficiently as possible. So he's gone out and actually figured out a testing process. He actually has patented a testing process with the SAE. They've actually gone out and tested, I can't tell you how many thousands of trucks, and they have this process for testing down to 0.2%, 0.2% of fuel economy. And he's done a great job. These are all partners that he's working with. And of course, you see most of these running up and down the road today, a lot of them right here in the area in the capital region. So he's increased his fuel economy or restored his fuel economy up to 2%. This is a quote from Dan: "An additive that saves fuel, lowers maintenance cost, and has no driver involvement is a home run. Many additive companies claim to provide benefits, but BG is the first we've seen to prove it." Now, this gentleman is actually testing products from all over the world, and he states right here that BG actually helps them with fuel economy. These are some of the stats from the Federal Highway Administration. The national fleet economy is running about 5.9 miles per gallon. They did a 20 fleet survey with our products and increased it to 7.28. You can see here there's the fuel economy of most vehicles on the road today. Of course, the school buses fall into about 6 to 7 miles per gallon. This is another quote from Darrell. We anticipate greater improvements in engine with higher idle time or stop and go duty cycles due to the higher likelihood of carbon buildup and after treatment problems. This is their test track. This is the vehicles that they use. They took a bunch of, well, not a bunch. They used some trucks from 2017, 300,000 miles, which is about half of their life. They used the Detroit DD15, the Cummins X15, and then they used one truck that they did no treatments to. It had a DD15 in it. They made sure that they had all the weights, the cruise control, aerodynamics, everything was all in line, and they used a 200-mile baseline. They performed the two-part service that we talked about with the EPR and the performance restoration fuel system. They did a 1,000-mile test. 3 trucks, 1,200 miles each. You can see here the before the injector port, and then the after. You can see how much cleaner it is by using the PD09 fuel chemical. Here's another hole for the number 6 injector. The same thing. You can see how much cleaner it is. This was actually a picture from the underside, and you can see the carbon buildup. This is from the 3rd cylinder. These are all before and after photos of the injector port. So Dan, Darrell had another comment here. We were surprised by the blockage initially found in the fuel injectors, considering the engines were in perfect running condition. In other words, they'd already gone through. They made sure that the fuel systems, the fuel filters, the air filter, everything was up to standard. So with this, they show with 2.11 fuel restoration on one truck at 125,000 miles per year, 7 miles per gallon, they gained about 17,000 gallons. Now, granted, we're not going to be able to do that with a bus fleet, but we still can help you improve your fuel or restore your fuel economy. $1,700 a year per truck for this company, which obviously if they're running 1,600 trucks down the road, that's a huge savings. Again, the fleets they're working with. So what about a gas engine? You guys all have, I know Shen has quite a handful of gas as well as diesel. A lot of this service is going to be the same. As far as the EPR goes, the EPR can be used in either gas or diesel. It does come in an 11-ounce can, which is perfect for up to 8 or 9 quarts in your fuel, in your oil system. It's the same product. It does the same thing. It cleans the ring lands, keeps all the ports in the engine clean, keeps compression at its regular standards, reduces blow-by. And you would do this with every oil change. CF5 is a fuel system cleaner. It's a great product. It has some phase separation properties in it to help it from, if you're sitting, especially in the summertime, the bus sits over the summers, you got ethanol fuel, the fuel starts to separate from the water. The CF5 will help that from happening. Plus it has a rust inhibitor in it. It can restore fuel economy, and you would want to use this with every oil change. 44K should be used annually. This product is strictly a cleaner. It's a great product. It has a product called polyethylamine in it. It is the strongest cleaning agent on the market today for the gas systems. It'll help clean the catalytic converter. It'll keep your oxygen sensors all functioning properly and keeping them clean. Obviously, with this, we can reduce emissions and cut maintenance costs. So we're going to restore the engine integrity by keeping the rings clean. We protect the fuel system, reduce oil consumption, reduce fuel consumption and expense, reduce emissions, which of course is really important, and reduce diesel regens on your diesel engines, which of course cost you fuel economy also. So we're going to ask you a bunch of questions if you contact us. Number one being, how many vehicles do you have? How many gas, diesel? What engines are you using? How often are you doing your oil changes? Annually, semi-annually? What are you basing on hours, miles, your average fleet mileage per gallon? How many miles a day? How much fuel are you using per month? And then we will come in and help you set up a plan that works for you. If you want to contact us, you can contact myself. My email is there, ddrat@dcsbg.com. That's my phone number, 518-813-7359. We have salesmen throughout the capital region, all of upstate New York. I'd be happy to have any one of you contact any one of you at any time.
What's that? Just skip so you go back to the other screen. No, so you go back to where you see everybody.
Oh. Do we have any questions? Is there any questions out there I can help anybody with? Dan, can we help you?
Do the stop. What's that?
So I know that we have used your product, and one of the things that we had in a Suburban is we had a intake that was plugging up, and it was a long story to get to that point. But we used your product, and we've been using it since, and it's been working. We haven't had any more intakes plugging up, but that was kind of an odd situation. We had a check engine light that kept coming on, and we'd clear it, and it would last for a while, and then it would come back from time to time. And eventually, we got to get into this, and that's when we found one of the intake ports plugged right up. So we got a hold of Dwayne, and he gave us a product to try, and it worked. So that's what we have going on here. So I can speak pretty highly of that part of it. Does anybody else have anything else?
We need to understand that we can't necessarily fix an ongoing problem. This product is to help maintain the engine's integrity and keep it running properly. Now, in that sense, with what you use, the EPR and the MOA, you went through and cleaned the system, and obviously it worked well for you, but we can't always fix a problem with our chemicals, but we can help maintain the engine if it's running properly from the start.
Right. So you're saying that the objective here is to bring the engine back to its original efficiency, and using your products, you should be able to obtain that.
Right. It's all about preventative maintenance and maintaining what we started with.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions for Dwayne? All right. Well, thank you, Dwayne.
All right. Thank you. Just bottom line, we want to make sure that we keep the deposits out of the engine. It doesn't matter if it's gas or diesel, and we can help with both of those. We appreciate your time today, all of you. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to talk to any one of you and hook you up with a salesman in your area. Hopefully you're in my area, but we'd be happy to talk to any one of you. Thank you for your time, gentlemen. Have a great day.
Hey, Dan, we can't hear you. I can't hear you anyway. You went on
Right.
mute or something.
Can you hear me now? All right. I want to thank you, Dwayne, for your presentation. A lot of valuable information there. And again, I think we can all benefit from it. Our next meeting is going to be held on October 19th, 2022. Our presenter will be Roger Harrod with Matthews Bus Sales. He'll be presenting on the proper maintenance and safety and safety issues that we need to take into consideration when working on the Thomas electric bus. This is going to start the next 3 meetings will be on electric buses. So we've got the Matthews, the Thomas bus on the 19th. In our November meeting will be Bluebird with alternative fuels and electric buses. And in December will be International with their EV bus and the proper maintenance. So there should be a lot of information coming out here. I know everybody's learning and bouncing ideas off each other, and that's what this is all about. So the next 3 meetings, we're going to have all about electric buses, which should be good. We've also got, if you look at the sway page that I had to update because when I set the dates, I must have been looking at the wrong calendar. They were all off just a little bit. I've straightened that all out. So please review the sway page. It's the same link that everybody should have. I'll send it out again. And that's going to have all the new dates and classes on it. We are still in need for a treasurer. Now, George and I have been taking over trying to keep up on it, but we really need somebody to step up. It would be a great help if somebody could give us a hand with this. So again, as we're going into this year, if you know of anybody, or it could be a bus driver, it could be, doesn't have to be a mechanic, somebody that could help us out. Along with that, our steering committee meeting that we had at our last one, we have agreed to purchase the ASE Master School Bus Technician Training Manuals. So anybody that is in, that gets the opportunity to become certified, not only do we pay for the certification, but we have the manuals. So I don't have them yet, but we have ordered them. And when they come in, we're going to keep them here with us. But as people get nominated and accepted, and we're going to pay for the certification, they have access to our manuals. So we have 2 people a year that we're going to try to do. We'll have to share the manuals a little bit. There are 7 of them, S1 through S7. So if they split them up for that year, and then they can exchange and take the test. So we're hoping this will help out with that. We also are working on our Christmas party. Now, I sent out a link with a forum on it where everybody can take the survey, because we're trying to determine whether we're going to have a Christmas party or not. We do have 16 people responded, took that survey. Now, we have a lot more than 16 people, 16 members. We need everybody to take that and just say, yes, I want to go, or no, I don't want to go. And if you're bringing a guest, and if you're not bringing a guest, those are the questions on the survey. Currently, we have 26 people. So we're going to go through, and we've been working on putting the Christmas party together. It's going to be held. We've booked the room. We submitted to book the room. We're pushing for December 3rd. But again, if everybody can keep in contact and at least take the surveys, all you have to do is fill out the survey, no emails, nothing, you could email, but just keep in contact so that we can push forward with this. And the last thing that I have is I know I sent everybody an email that came from the New York State chapter about the wigwags. Did everybody get that? They are allowing us to, if the wigwag doesn't work, we can remove it. If it leaks air, we can remove it. And the reason for that is because the wigwags are no longer being made. So we can't even get them to replace them. So DOT is allowing us to take the wigwag out of the vehicle, but I'm pretty sure it's got to be totally removed, airline and all, so that it's like it wasn't there. So, and I did send that out to everybody. I can send it out again if people didn't get it. But does anybody else have anything to add to today's meeting? Because that's all I have. And then if everybody can just stay in contact, do you want to stay virtual or in person? I think virtual right now, we're doing it because everybody's driving. So you can give you a thumbs up there. I don't know as though I'd be able to make a meeting myself at this point, the way things are crazy with the driver shortage. But stay vocal, send me emails, keep me in the loop. This is our organization and we want to make it work. We want to make it so that everybody can communicate, bounce ideas off of each other. What everybody's going through. I know we're all probably going through the same thing with mechanic shortages and driver shortages. But short of that, I'm prepared to close the meeting. So does anybody have anything to add to today's meeting? If not, we will see you at the October meeting, October 19th, start our electric buses. I want to thank everybody for attending the meeting today, and we will see you later.
Thanks, Dan.